And the former First Lady says that she kept her hair straight so her husband's administration could focus on other issues and not her hair. The Obamas were very cognizant of how much attention was paid to how they looked and how they acted because they were black.
The way our hair naturally grows out of our head, it's beautiful, but if we struggle to make it look like the standard, that means we are spending thousands of hours and lots of money.
Hey guys, it's Julie here. How are you doing today? Happy new month. This video was supposed to go out last month, but it's being recorded in November. So yes, happy new month. So I came across this video of Michelle Obama talking about natural hair, and she talks about how hard and difficult and life-changing it is to have your natural hair as a black woman and wear it because society requires that black women straighten their hairs and frowns upon a black woman's natural hair. So yeah, let's watch the video.
As women of color, that the way our hair naturally grows out of our head, it's beautiful. But if we struggle to make it look like the standard, that means we are spending thousands of hours and lots of money straightening out what is naturally curly hair, right? And that takes time out of your life. It costs money.
So before I continue with my commentary, I want to know your thoughts on what the former First Lady of the United States said. You can pause the video to type your thoughts in the comments because I'm curious to hear what you guys think about this. Now, my thoughts, because I truly believe that, how do I say this? I truly believe that many black women just enjoy wearing straight hair and prefer it. And it's not a terrible thing at all, but they seem to have a problem with just admitting that they like to skirt around the issue. At the crux of the matter, many black women just opt for the low-hanging fruit of blaming or deflecting onto external factors when it comes to their preference for straight hair. Me, I don't think there's anything wrong with liking straight hair. I think that what I criticize the most is the negativity and just the pure hatred that can come from wearing your natural hair that black women seem to project onto other women. It's not just internal, but they seem to pass it onto their own kids, and that's not okay. In a perfect world, hair shouldn't matter this much. Like, who really cares? But in this world, it does, even though it shouldn't. There are too many black women explaining why they don't like their hair texture or why they don't wear it or why it's ruining their life. I think that because Michelle Obama comes from a different time where hair on black women was more policed and scrutinized than what it is now, she still carries that mindset that black women are not allowed to wear their natural hair. And it's funny because growing up, whenever I watch Black American movies or just hip-hop music videos and I saw these black women in them, most of the time these black women had natural textures. I used to see these video vixens and actors with afros. It never occurred to me that there was something supposedly wrong with their hair, you know. In fact, I saw more afros and more textured hair and more personal style with hair in the media back then than I do now. Many black women who were it girls wore their beautiful coils and it was just very normal. Even in Nigeria here, we used to have a lot of Nollywood stars just wearing this afro textured wigs or weaves, or just personal style was such a thing. And now it's like everybody's a clone of another. Everybody wants to wear the lace fronts, you know. To be a black it girl these days, you must have a whole collection of lace fronts and you must never ever wear your natural hair or even braids out because people might have a problem with that. Now, if you're watching a major movie of the moment, if there happens to be a black girl with any screen time, 9 out of 10 times she will have her head shaved. Now, I know that nobody rocks a buzz cut like a black woman. There is nothing wrong with a buzz cut, but you're telling me all the girls, especially the dark-skinned one, just wanted to have their head shaved? And we've talked about how the modeling industry shaves black women's heads. They just love a black woman with shaved head because they don't want to deal with natural hair, you know. If there are like 100 models in a room and 20 were black, only the black models would have shaved heads. This is something we've seen happen a lot. There is something to be said about how natural hair was more embraced and just shown in older Hollywood movies back then, when policing and scrutiny was supposed to be more intense than now, where there is all this natural hair movement and this awakening and this empowering thing. It seems like the more black women realize that they are now quote unquote allowed to wear their natural hair and literally no one cares and it won't have such a big impact on their personal lives, the more this happens, the more they dig their feet in and say, no, it's a trap. Nobody likes our hair. We're not allowed. I think that yes, certain occupations will still restrict black women from having their hair, as ridiculous as it sounds in this day and age. Like I just talked about the modeling industry. I mean, we've seen models come out to attest to that. That yes, it's a valid thing to say that black women's hair get policed, but it's also somehow to be hearing it come from someone who used to be the most powerful woman in the world. Like your husband was once the president of the United States, and while you were wearing those wigs, spending all that time, money, effort, and energy, which is like a lot, like she says, because she doesn't seem to like how much time black women are supposedly spending on their hair. I feel like while you were spending time doing all that, getting your ears accidentally clipped by that flat iron and having your hair smell like roasted goats because the iron made one too many passes, while you were raising daughters who had to go through those same rituals in order to be accepted, I feel like somewhere along the line, you could have made a resolution to allow yourself that freedom. Like you are the first lady at the end of the day. Who's going to check you? It's giving that meme of the boy holding a boot to his head. Like, I get that there can be a lot of scrutiny and discourse surrounding the black woman's hair, but I don't think people would have raided the White House with torches at sundown, chanting and yelling for your dethroning because they saw your natural hair. I think the economic state of the country wouldn't have collapsed if Michelle Obama had said, F this status quo, I don't have to do this, I'm wearing my curly hair today, Like that annoying main character in that Hallmark movie that suddenly realizes that maybe all she's been looking for everywhere was right inside her as she smiles up at the rainy skies while breathing in the air of a brand new day. That character that stops a taxi and then says, take me home. I'm going home. I feel like she could have had that awakening at some point and be like, you know what? I'm wearing my natural hair. I don't care what anyone says,
As black women, we deal with it. The whole thing about, do you show up with your natural hair? Braids, y'all. As First Lady, I did not wear braids. We got to ease up on the people. Just like, because I thought about it. I was like, it would be easier. Nope, they're not ready.
I get it to an extent. She was just not the president's wife. She was the wife of the first black president of the United States. So, of course, it was double the scrutiny. And, it's unfortunate. But on the other hand, it's like you were the first lady. It kind of sounds whiny hearing her say that. I'm sorry.
The Obamas were very cognizant of how much attention was paid to how they looked and how they acted because they were black. They also knew how powerful representation was and still is. So, like this moment, this was in 2009 when a young black boy reached up to touch the president's hair.
This picture embodied one of the hopes that I'd had when I first started running for office.
When I saw the picture of the little black boy touching Obama's hair and how Obama had said that it made him feel, I just felt like hearing that, I couldn't help but just feel like this would have had such a great impact on little black girls if the first lady wore her natural texture too at that time, No one needs it more than the black girls. Then maybe today would have less of them crying on TikTok about how their hair is ruining their lives. Maybe today would have less people saying, don't bring your natural hair to my events. Maybe today we'll have people saying that wearing braids to the club or to a high-end place is raz and ghetto and ratchet and every other word you can think of. It's not just an American thing. It's global and it trickles down. It's just impact. Like when I saw Beyonce and Shakira doing that iconic belly dance scene in their song Beautiful Liar, I almost broke my teenage waist trying to copy it. When I saw the music video of Two-Face African Queen back in the days, I felt better at my newly shaved head because people watch and people feel and people want to relate. So if the First Lady of America is saying, I'm not allowed to wear my natural hair, what would the average black woman say? I mean, she's no longer first lady, but she's still not allowed to. Come on. Her kids were probably homeschooled while she was first lady, but let's say her girls come back from school one day or they weren't allowed to join certain classes in school because their hair wasn't straight enough. Would she just say, well, we tried, society just don't want you girls to wear your hairs. What shall we do? And the president himself would then sigh and say, Oh, just relax it, Michelle. Just perm their hair. I told you this before. There's nothing we can do. Conform. We gotta conform. That sounds ridiculous. If she's saying that, no wonder a lot of black women have this mass hysteria that whenever they are wearing their natural hair out, everything in their life just go bad. They fail their exams, they get dumped by their husbands of 12 years, get thrown off a plane, have children start crying when they walk by, and cause climate change. All because of their natural hair. I've seen so many videos of women saying that when they wear their wigs, people treat them better, and when they wear their natural hair, everybody hates them. Meanwhile, it's just pretty privileged, because something I noticed about this video is that these women wear wigs and get dressed up and dolled up, and then when they choose to wear their own hair, they make it a point to dress like the weird man that you cross to the other side of the streets to avoid. Are you allergic to being put together because you have your natural hair out? I get that it's natural, but really, you can use a deodorant while wearing your natural hair. Come on now. I posted a video about how women use their natural hair for the before of a transition. They look drained, tired, and grey. Then they will get a nice outfit and glam when it's time to put a wig on. That's weird. I don't like that. So your natural hair is only good for the before the glow up, and then when it's time for you to get the glow up and the glam, you throw on a wig. Why? I think that Michelle Obama calling straight hair the standard in that tone is more of a personal belief than anything else. Like I said, many black women probably grew up being told that their hair needed to be done or tamed, and they internalized it, and that's unfortunate. But when you grow up and you're still saying that the reason this thing is affecting my life so much and I'm unable to stop it or change it is because what would people say, it kind of seems like you're just holding on to what is familiar to you, which is straight hair. And you can say that because she's making it seem like she's doing all that straightening and molding her hair to become the quote-unquote standard that is ruining her life and taking too much time from her. But she's also saying she has to keep doing it. And it's like, no, you don't. She's saying this part like she's reporting a bully to her parents. Like, and it's just like, pff, lady, please, you're Michelle Obama. If you can't put a middle finger up to this so-called standard, what do you want other people to do? I see many black women take this tactic too. Liking straight hair for the aesthetic or just doing it because you like it and you find it easy or whatever is not a crime. I've never come on here to say if you like straightening your hair or if you prefer that this thing you're self-hating or whatever. But I feel like a lot of the women who do prefer to wear their hair straight, they make it seem like, well, if I wear my hair curly, my life is going to shambles. And it's like, no, it's not. Like, it's a personal thing to like what you like, but they try to wrap it up to be this huge heroic burden that they have to take on. You know, I'm wearing this 40 inches 613 middle part bust down because since the beginning of time, black hair has been ridiculed and abused. And as much as I hate to spend $5,000 on this raw donor extra virgin baby hair bundle that all the girls at the club would be jealous of, I have to do this because it's not easy being a strong black woman. Ensign. You can see some responses from other black women responding to Michelle Obama's statements in these tweets. It's basically people just saying, I wear my natural hair all the time. Nobody prevents me from doing that. You're literally Michelle Obama. Why can't you? Anyways, let me know what you guys think about this, and I'll see you in my next one. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Bye.